Hey everybody, it's GoblinX and welcome back to some more Magic Arena. Today I'm going to be playing this week's Midweek Magic event, which is going to be a Historic Artisan event. Historic Artisan, just like Historic, allows you to play cards from any set on Arena. However, because it is Artisan, that means you can only play commons and uncommons. So like I've been doing for most of these Historic Artisan events, I'm going to be playing a deck that is loosely based off of a popular Pauper strategy, and this is one you might have seen in one of Tolarian Community College's latest videos. It's going to be a Pauper Goblins combo deck. Of course, this is the Artisan version, so we are using some cards that are uncommon on Arena. But the main combo in this deck is Putrid Goblin along with First Day of Class. The Putrid Goblin says when it dies, if it did not have a -1/-1 counter on it, bring it back with a -1/-1 counter. And First Day of Class says until the end of your turn, whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it. That means if your Putrid Goblin dies when you've cast a First Day of Class during the turn, it's going to come back onto the board with a -1/-1 counter and a +1/+1 counter on it, which in Magic rulings means that those will cancel each other out and it'll essentially come back with no counters on it whatsoever. So with those two cards in conjunction with any sacrifice outlet, you can sacrifice your Putrid Goblin infinitely for whatever use you want. You can use a Skirk Prospector with it to get infinite mana. You can use a Sling Gang Lieutenant with it to drain your opponent for infinite life, and that is the big combo to this strategy. So you've got a lot of cards that are going to help you get there, a lot of card draw like Deadly Dispute, allowing you to sacrifice one of your other goblins to help get there, to help draw the cards for it. You have Ichor Wellspring's drawing cards and also a good sacrifice outlet for the Deadly Dispute. The Reckless Impulse here helping you draw into the combo. You also have 4 Goblin Matrons letting you tutor for what goblin you need, and 4 Goblin Trap Finders, which will naturally tutor for 1 at random from your deck, which can help get you there as well. Because most anything you get off the Trap Finder is going to be something that helps you with the combo. It'll be the Putrid Goblin itself, or the Matron to pick up the Putrid Goblin, or the Sling Gang Lieutenant to combo with the Goblin. So Trap Finder, a pretty nice card as well. The list that I am playing today is taken directly from Magic Arena Zone. I will have a link in the description below to their deck list, and they also have a little gameplay guide for running the deck. And yeah, definitely highly recommend the website. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I have found their content very, very informative and very useful. So that is the deck list we are playing today. Very excited to see if we can combo some people out with goblins, but without further ado, let's head into the gameplay. Alright, so we're going to be on the play this game. Already have a Putrid Goblin, which is a nice start. We've got that Trap Finder to help tutor out another piece of the combo with a Deadly Dispute to sacrifice it if we wish. Yeah, we'll drop our Trap Finder here, and I think I'm actually just going to play a Swamp and discard this Baron more. Don't think I need too many lands in this deck. Prosperous Innkeeper's the play from our opponents. Go ahead and cycle this. Another Deadly Dispute for us. So our opponent gets to gain a life whenever a creature enters the battlefield under their control. They also get a treasure token thanks to the Innkeeper. They are going to drop an Okiba Wreck and a Raid, drain us for another life. Or drain us for 1 life and they'll gain another life. Send in the Trap Finder and we're okay with a trade. Now we've drawn a Village Rites to sack this Trap Finder, which I will definitely do. To draw 2. And tutor out Goblin. We've tutored a Skirk Prospector and we've drawn into a Goblin Matron, which is great. We're going to have to discard a card in our end step. If I drop Wellspring, that's fine. I'd rather do that than drop Putrid Goblin, just in case our opponent uses removal on it. Oh, I guess we won't have to discard a card because I hadn't played a land yet this turn. Alright, we're getting very close. We just need to draw our First Day of Class. Another Ichor Wellspring, double Deadly Dispute here. Let's get disputing. Draw mountain, draw the first day of class that we needed. Okay. I can drop the Goblin Matron and pick up the Sling Gang Lieutenants. And I believe next turn I can combo off. I think. Because next turn I can cast... I guess I'm not quite enough mana. I'm 1 mana off from comboing off. Because I can cast Skirk Prospector. Wow. Okay, actually, if they didn't power word kill my Goblin Matron, I could have comboed off next turn, because I could play Skirk Prospector, then sacrifice the Matron and tap a land for first day of class, so that I'd have 2 tapped lands and still have 2 mana up. Then... I guess still not quite, because I would need another black source for Sling Gang. Okay, so I can first day of class and Putrid Goblin here, and have Skirk Prospector, then I have infinite red mana. But I need another black mana is what I need, is the problem. I could Matron for another Goblin out of my deck. None of which give me a treasure token or anything, though. Actually, some Wily Goblins would be perfect in this deck. Just 1 to tutor with Matrons. You put Wily Goblin, the 2 mana that makes a treasure token. We could have comboed off this turn, but we can't anymore. I'm just going to go for it anyway, because I have double first day of class, and we're going to see what we can get done here. Guess I have the infinite mana to use these. I can use Expanded Anatomy or Introduction to Prophecy. We'll go for Introduction to Prophecy. Okay. So we're about to do a lot of things here. Okay. Doesn't really change anything. Clock's gonna be really mad at me though. There's makeshift munitions. We actually get there. If this were a paper game, we get there, because we represent that we had infinite mana here. And then we use that infinite mana to infinitely sack Putrid Goblin to makeshift munitions. But Arena's gonna say no to that. But we should have lethal here. We should have got there because we drew into munitions. Instead, we'll kill all the creatures here, just in case Arena doesn't let me kill them in time. Okay, they're going to scoop them up. I would like to thank my opponent for scooping there, because otherwise that turn was probably going to take 2 minutes, and then we wouldn't even get the full lethal. But we still had a second first day of class, so we would have killed them next turn. It just would have taken way too long. But yeah, we did get to combo off that turn because we did get to find the makeshift munitions. The problem I was having there was the fact that it was going to cost 2 mana to first day of class, 2 mana to Putrid Goblin, and 1 mana to get the Skirk Prospector on board, which was making it so I didn't have a single black mana held up to be able to cast the Sling Gang Lieutenant as well, to have the way to deal the damage to my opponent. I could get the infinite mana, but then I was realizing with the infinite mana I can use Goblin Matron to tutor up another Goblin. I can use the Introduction Prophecy that I pulled out with the first day. So I had some other ways to try to dig into the way to deal damage, and we got there with makeshift munitions, so that was nice. So that was why I was saying Wily Goblin would be pretty good in this deck, is if you had a single copy of Wily Goblin, if you're in a position like that, where you have the Prospector Goblin, Prospector Putrid Goblin, to get the infinite mana, but you don't have the black source because of the way that things lined up, then being able to just tutor up a Wily Goblin to get 1 treasure token could get you to the Sling Gang Lieutenant. So maybe just 1 single copy of Wily Goblin to tutor up would be interesting. Probably not necessary though, because I guess it's not that often that you're going to have everything in the combo, but just not a black mana for Slinging Lieutenant. Alright, so that's going to be 1 and 0 there, and we are going to get a Storm Carved Coast as our rare reward. Really nice reward out of the Midweek Magic event. Always happy to open up a rare dual land. Alright, here we are on the play in game 2. Couple Goblin Matrons to start tutoring for our tricks, for our combo pieces. We'll have to wait till later in the game. For now, we're going to discard our Forgotten Cave and draw a card. Playing against a blue deck, they start with a snow-covered island into a Fairy Seer. Could be a Fairy control deck here. Could be a Ninjutsu deck. That is a popular one as well. Fairy Seer, great with Ninjutsu. Played on turn 1, Scry 2, turn 2, Ninjutsu in your Ninja the Deep Hour or whatever. Let's get our Trap Finder down. And I think I'm actually going to Village Rites the Trap Finder. Draw 2 instead of discarding Forgotten Cave. Alright, we'll take our Ninjutsu here. They are going to get the Ninja of the Deep Hours. Hit us for 2 and draw a card. So some great value plays from our opponent in these early turns. We're going to have to hope they're not the kind of Ninjutsu deck that has counterspells. So Trap Finder's going to find the Prospector, and there's the Putrid Goblin. Now we once again just need the first day of class. And we're off to the races. That's what the Deadly Dispute's going to be really helpful for here. See what our opponent has lined up for us on turn 3. Consider. Looks like they're tapping out here. Very happy to see that. See if they draw land off this Ninja. I'm not going to sack Matron because I want it on board to sacrifice to my Deadly Dispute. Did hit a mana, but they're going to cast another Consider, so still tapped out. No possible counterspell to worry about here. We do draw Makeshift Munitions. Literally only need the first day of class. Alright, still not quite there. It's our best card draw thing to do here. Probably draw a card off Forgotten Cave. Could also just play the Munitions, but I think I'm just drawing cards still. Digging for first day of class because we win as soon as we hit it. Can play Skirk Prospector, but it gets sacrificed in our end step anyway. I guess I should have played it and attacked with it. It's might as well, but let's discard the second Munitions. That is very redundant, especially with Slinging Lieutenant in hand. Mountain from our opponent, blue-red ninjutsu stuff here. They're gonna foretell something, could be a Saw It Coming, counter a spell here, in which case they've kind of got it on lock now. So they can just hold up a counter spell. Okay, there's Ichor Wellspring. Certainly a solid card here. It's 100% a counter spell. Reckless Impulse, still no first day of class for us. Quite unfortunate. They probably counter Makeshift Munitions here, which at least gets the counter out of the way. So we still win if we top deck first day of class next turn. They don't counter the Munitions. Then let's shoot the Seer and draw a card right now. Oh, it's Behold the Multiverse. Just scry 2, draw 2. Alright then. Another Skirk Prospector. Might have been worth it to convert our treasure token into a Skirk Prospector. They'll do the same thing. They'll sack for a treasure when we need it later. And the Prospector can let us do the same with our Goblin Matrons if we want to toss those out. Another Foretold card here. Opponent draws another card off the Ninja. Land for turn, no card draw here. I guess we have Reckless Impulse, which I should do before I play any lands. In case I hit lands off of it. I certainly hit lands off of it. Yeah, Prospector. Play a Matron and a Prospector here, I guess. Thins the deck out. Is this closer to the first day of classes? That is 100% okay with me. I could sack the treasure to counter that, but I don't think that's worth it. Alright. And the festivities, that's really rude. Could have sacked it for a red mana there, or I could have sacked my treasure and it to deal 1 damage to their face. But either there's no reason to have the red mana. And I don't really want to sack the treasure just for 1 damage to their face. Opponent's going to hit us with their Ninja of the Deep Powers again. Draw another card here. Unless they're considering ninjutsuing it for something else. Alright, we do get hit for 2. We draw another Slinging Lieutenant. This is rough. Goodbye, Dross Forge Bridge. Yeah, the first day of classes are just all miles away. Dig through almost half our deck now. At least the Slinging Lieutenant threatens to put up... I'll pay for that. Put up enough 1/1s on the board to trade into the Ninja. Alright. They scry 2, draw 2. So we can double block the Ninja with 2 1/1 goblins, and then we have also the ability to sack those goblins to do 1 to their face, or 1 to any target. So if they do any kind of trick to try to save the Ninja, we can ruin that. Frantic Inventory, drawing some cards here. We're just on the munitions plan now, no longer trying to actually like combo our opponent out of the game. Now we just have to keep using all our goblins to keep their board state clear. Now that we're down to 8 life. And the festivities, that's pretty rude. Pretty rude to kill everybody then. Alright, crack the treasure now to get the board clear. Munitions putting in some serious work here. Alright, just another consider from our opponent. They cannot save their ninja of the deep hours. There goes all the board states. Now we know Goblin Matron Sling Gang Lieutenant resolves, although I won't be holding up any munitions mana. That's fine, because I'm going to pick up another Sling Gang Lieutenant here. So if they end the festivities another time, I still have another Sling Gang. And we can drain them for 4 life. It's not like there's any creatures for us to shoot with our munitions right now. So if they end the festivities, we just drain them for 4 life with this ability. The Sling Gang's ability instead. Alright, they're going to draw their full play set of End the Festivities before we draw one of our combo pieces. I forgot what it's called. First day of class. Oops. What is going on here? Why does this have that weird border on it? They have a Lofty Denial up now as well. I don't know why our Drossforge Bridge is looking funky. Well then. Skirk Prospector Putrid Goblin can still win off of munitions. So I don't need the Sling Gang to win. So I can drop it here. And get rid of the Mole Drifter. Alright. One Slingy Boy versus the world. Alright, a Fairy Miscreant. If they play multiples of it, they'll draw extra cards. I'll blow that up with my Drossforge Bridge before they can play multiples of it. Also, because my Drossforge Bridge is looking funky. I don't like I don't like the weird border thing that was going on with it. And now I'm kind of jealous. Now I kind of want my own ninjutsu. So I can ninjutsu my Sling Gang Lieutenant back to hand and replay it for more goblins. Wellspring's pretty big here. That can draw us 2 cards. Another Skirk Prospectors, whatever. Do I draw the card off Wellspring right now? I think I can wait on it. I'll just play Skirk Prospector and I can sack Tramway Station during their turn. And then this way, if they play another 1/1 flyer, which they seem to have a lot of, Fairy Miscreants and the other fairy thing, we can blow it up and draw a card off Wellspring. I want to have as much mana untapped as possible by the time we try to combo off. Because, All of their counter spells that we've seen tax us, make us pay an extra mana for our spells. So I'd like to just kind of have extra mana up. Another Wellspring. It's a thing. Alright, Sling Gang. Sling Gang number 4, come on down. Another Fairy Miscreant. Luckily our makeshift munitions is really good against that. Just pretty much guaranteeing they can never draw cards off those. Another Wellspring. They're over it. They're tired of the makeshift munitions grind out game. My apologies, opponent. If I could draw my first day of class sooner, I absolutely would have, but we kind of just had to play the munitions grind out game, kill all their 1/1s and 2/2s they're playing, because we've got a lot of cards that make multiple tokens or draw a card when they die, so we could just play that grind out game there. Yep, all 4 first day of class is just somewhere in the bottom half of the deck there, so makeshift munitions control deck it is. That's going to be 2-0, beating up the ninjutsu deck there. See what our second prize is. Curse of Shaken Faith. Whenever an enchanted player casts a spell other than the first spell they cast each turn, or copies a spell, it deals 2 to them. Very much some sideboard material for us there, but here we are heading into game 3. The third win is the best win. That is the one that's going to get us our random mystery cosmetic reward. That could be an avatar, could be a card sleeve, but it could also just be some parallax card style that I'm not that interested in. But hopefully we get a cool cosmetic here. We'll find out as soon as we win our third game. Why does it look like that? I guess that's to represent indestructible. But it's just a land. It doesn't really matter that it's indestructible. But okay, Arena. See, our opponent's looking at it too. They're like, why does this look so shiny? What is going on here? What's going on with the border? Viashino Pyromancer, mono red aggro. So this is going to be a matchup we need to play real defensively. I like Trap Finder because it can trade into the Pyromancer. And then I think I'm going to get just munitions down as quickly as possible in this matchup. So I can throw Wellspring at a 2/1 and kill it and draw a card. Yeah, if your opponent goes Mountain Viashino Pyromancer, then you know it's a burn game. Probably going to burn our Trap Finder out, unfortunately. If not, though, trading into Pyromancer is wonderful for us. Ooh, Snap Trade. Good stuff, good stuff. See what we pull out with the Trap Finder. It will be a Putrid Goblin. Now we have a 1-mana Putrid Goblin for when we're comboing out. Spellgorger Weird is going to be their next play. Munitions here to kill this Weird before they cast any non-creatures. That feels pretty solid to me. Have to sack Wellspring and then maybe play this non-durable Putrid Goblin. Okay, we draw our land for turn. I could play the full-on Putrid Goblin and sack it. Yeah, and keep this one for the combo piece. Not sacking a land this early in the game. So once your Putrid Goblin has a -1/-1 counter on it, it can no longer be used to combo, which is why in the last matchup I was just holding Putrid Goblin in hand the entire game. I did not want to get that on the board and have it just get frostbit into being a 1/1. So if you've got 2 Putrid Goblins, then sure, we can get the other one out here, but... A Goblin Matron. Sure, trade Goblin Matron into Rimrock Knight here. We can guarantee it happens with makeshift munitions. Really fine with anything here. I think I kind of want to just chain Goblin Matrons together to thin out the deck. Honestly, I already have double Sling Gang if I wanted to be blocking. So let's just chain Matrons. Get 2 Lava Runners. Is that a 2/2 haste yet? No. They need another instant or sorcery engrave. Yep. This feels like a pretty good matchup for us because we just have so many little 1/1 things we can play. Sling Gangs just feel really good in this match. But even the Goblin Matrons, it's like a 1/1. It's going to trade into one of their creatures and draw us a card, draw us another Matron. Feel pretty set up here. We're at 18 life. Nice and sturdy. Just trade our Matron into the Rimrock. We're going to pass to our turn. Let's just play a Sling Gang Lieutenant. So we can double block the Lava Runner. And pass the turn. Another Spellgorger Weird is threatening. That can get very big later in the game, so we might want to double munitions that again. They have like a shock here. They get to kill both of our 1/1s without losing the creature. Actually, shock on Sling Gang Lieutenant would be really bad. Rimrock Knight is fine. That's still... Just trade both of my creatures into that. There's Skirk Prospector. So we're not really going to kill the Spellgorger Weird. Probably get chumping. Just going to get more 1/1s to chump with. And every time we chump, we drain our opponent for a life. So we gain 1 life. Thanks to Sling Gangs. Maybe I will Goblin Matron into just more Sling Gang Lieutenants at this point. Down to 15 from Skewer the Critics. Time to play the munitions grind it out game again. Post-combat, I expect Rimrock Knight is coming down. Yeah, they just have 1 card in hand. Sure. Sling it up, boys. All the Sling Gangs. Trade with Rimrock, trump the Spellgorger. Or chump the Spellgorger. I'm gonna say trade and chump at the same time. 2 cards in their hand now. Another land for us. We can Matron here and hold up Deadly Dispute or Munitions. Pick up that 4th Sling Gang. Just sling it all around today. I'm just going to do it because it's funny. Quadruple Sling Gang Lieutenant, let's go. Probably rather chump block Spellgorger Weird and draw cards off of Deadly Dispute than drain them for a life this time. 2 cards and a treasure token is pretty valuable. Okay, we're just going to make it even bigger. It's fine. As long as they don't give it trample out of nowhere. Sure. Super big Spellgorger Weird. There's first day of class. There's first day of class, and we are going to end this game with a combo next turn. That is going to be huge. Yep, time to just wrap it up here. Here's our Putrid Goblin. Here's our first day of class. Pick up anything, and then just sack Putrid Goblin to Sling Gang Lieutenant 11 times. Alright, and there's our opponent's concession. That is gonna be game. And that is a look at the Rakdos Goblins combo. Let's see what our final reward is for this historic artisan event today. Come on, a good cosmetic. Anything but a parallax card style? It's a parallax card style. Fair enough. That is what you're going to get a majority of the time, because almost every card on Arena has a parallax card style. So there's just a much larger quantity of these parallax card styles than any other cosmetic reward you could get. Because there's like, 200 something of them per set. So that's what we're going to get most of the time. Unfortunately, no avatar, no sleeves or anything, but still, pretty fun event. Got some free rares for it. Got to play around with the Pauper Goblins combo. Now, of course, the Sling Gang Lieutenant is not legal in Pauper. So the Pauper version of this deck in Paper Magic in Pauper, instead of Sling Gang Lieutenants, you have Mog. Or it's a Goblin Invoker. I don't remember the name of the card, but it's this Invoker that's like a 2 or 3 mana Goblin or something, and then for like 8 mana you can deal 5 damage to target player, something like that. So the idea is with that Invoker you can search it out with Goblin Matron, and then if you get the Skirk Prospector Putrid Goblin combo going where you get infinite red mana, you use that infinite red mana to kill your opponent with your Invoker's abilities. So that's pretty good. It has upsides and downsides. With Sling Gang Lieutenant, you get to do the combo with less cards. You only need the first day of class Putrid Goblin and Sling Gang Lieutenant, whereas if you're going for the Invoker combo, you would need Skirk Prospector, Putrid Goblin, first day of class, and the Invoker. But on the plus side, the Invoker, you can do that with just red mana, which means if you get like the Skirk Prospector first, if you had to tap out to cast first day of class and Putrid Goblin and you don't have a black source up, you can still use the combo off of exclusively your infinite red mana. You don't need to find a way to pull out the black mana out of your butt. So benefits and downsides to each. Obviously the Goblin Trap Finder is not legal in the Pauper version of the deck either. So they play some other solid card draw or other solid goblins that aren't on Magic Arena in place of that, but everything else in the deck is what you would see in the Pauper build. Goblin Matron was printed at common in the past, Makeshift Munitions was printed at common in the past, so everything else here very legal in that deck. Pretty cool strategy, pretty fun time with it, but that is going to end today's video. Tomorrow we have one more Streets of New Capenna Premier Draft, if you're interested in checking that out, and then we have Arena Cube Drafts coming back this Friday. Very excited for that. We'll be doing a ton of those. That's what's coming up on the channel. If you want to see that kind of stuff, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to let the YouTube algorithm know to send you those videos in your recommended feeds. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.